You're doing tumbler seams wrong. Maybe you're not. Stick around, let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome. If this is your first time here, my name is Roy, and on this channel we talk about sublimation and lasering. Today we're going to talk about sublimation. Most specifically, we're going to talk about seams on tumblers. Now, you probably haven't been doing it wrong, or maybe you have been doing it wrong. There are a lot of different ways to wrap tumblers, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. I have 3 videos that talk about tumblers and seams, one specifically on seams, one on tumblers, and one on both, because they do interact a lot with each other. I'll leave a link in the description. Definitely, if you haven't watched those and you have an interest in doing good seams and good edges, definitely go back and look at those. What we're going to talk about today, though, is I was reading a Facebook post a few weeks ago, and somebody mentioned that they wrapped with 3 pieces of tape. Somebody else said they wrapped with 3 pieces of tape and a piece down the middle. Other people said they wrapped a lot. All of them seemed to get good results, and they wrapped very differently. And so I got to thinking about it. But also, there were a lot of people that wrapped very similar to those that were getting good results that were getting poor results. And I got to thinking about it. Why is that? I wrap with a lot of tape. I do one down the center, and then I do a piece across the top and the bottom. Go back and look at in the description, go back and look at the other videos. I talk about how I do that there. I'm not gonna beat that dead horse. But what I got to thinking about that I didn't talk about in the other videos is tight versus flat. Now, many people, me included, in the past have talked about making sure you get your paper tight around the tumbler. Tight is not nearly as important as flat. And you would think, well, if I've got it tight, Roy, it's going to be flat. Not necessarily. And this is the example that I'm using. I've taped these 3 pieces, and it's very tight right here, it's very tight right here, and it's very tight right here. But if you'll notice, between those pieces of tape, there's a lot of loose paper. That's going to cause you poor seams, not only in that area, but probably the whole piece of tape, because it's being lifted up. So whatever you do, make sure your paper is flat. What I did to make this happen was I pulled the paper really tight. So making it too tight will oftentimes cause this. And I can tell you now, if you have a bad seam, there's a good chance you're going to have bad edges. So you want to get that seam correct first. Use tape if you need it. I know that a lot of folks, well, not a lot of folks, but some folks are like, well, I only use 3 pieces of tape. Look, I'm going to tell you, I wrote it down here. I get 216 feet of tape for $8.99. That's 4 cents for a foot. So if I'm going to take a $5 or $6 or $4 or $7 tumbler, it's okay to use 5 cents or 6 cents or even 10 cents worth of tape and not think about it if it's going to give me great results versus questionable results. And at the end of the day, I would rather not gamble. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it like I tape it, and I'm not going to worry about it coming out potentially bad. Leave questions in the comments if you have them after you've looked at the other videos that I made on seams. If you have any other questions, then let me know. But this was just something that I really wanted to touch base with, because a lot of people, I think, when they wrap them really tight, they're not going to be this pronounced, but they are going to be raising the paper here in between. And right now, if I tape that down, it's not going to help. And the reason it's not going to help is because I've already pulled it loose. It may help, but it probably isn't. The trick is not to be so tight that you cause that. Don't be tight, be flat. It could be a band name. That really is about it today. I just wanted to talk to you about this potential challenge. I hope it helps. If you have not subscribed to this channel before, definitely subscribe, click the notification bell so that you will know when new videos come out, and definitely like this video if you think it may have helped you out any at all. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. If you had don't be tight. You're doing, leave versus questionable results versus